hour announced what they say is a total crackdown on hate speech in the country. Police spokesperson Charles Owino told a news conference that the police was analyzing recent statements by politicians with a view to prosecuting them. Here now are excerpts from that news conference that ended a few minutes ago.
Yes, you repeat your question? I had an interruption.
About
the public. Yes, as a police service, we are established for a purpose, to maintain law and order. If you break the law, we'll catch up with you, and that is the position. There's no two way about it, but we expect every Kenyan to behave responsibly, including those who have been incited.
So have you increased anything like vigilance in those areas, or things are just normal?
What normality? We are always vigilant, every day, 24/7. Yeah. I can see one of my friends here is not happy with me. Why are you not happy? You seem not to be happy. Unatingiza kichwa. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Yes, two quick questions. One, could you say and confirm that from the police side, you've given foolproof evidence of or against the leaders? Now it's upon the other authorities to act, so that you as the police service have done your job, and can you confirm that yours is foolproof? And secondly, some leaders are not comfortable with the way you...
It's okay, I like your question, but what I would like to put to you,
yes.
If ours is foolproof, why are we taking it to the judiciary? If I want to thump chest and say mine is foolproof, number one, I cannot, excuse me, number one, I cannot take any case before court if I'm not of the opinion that I have collected evidence enough to prosecute. Number two, we have another independent unit made up of lawyers, very experienced, the DPP, who analyze the evidence that we present before it goes to court. I have no reason to doubt the ability of my colleagues in DPP and my colleagues in CID when they are putting up any case before the court. But I think you have heard the comments of individuals talking about their ability, maybe dreaming and thinking that they have capacity to compromise the system. But let's wait and see what happens. We are committed as a country. I can tell you that the highest level of the country is behind us to ensure that this country does not revert back to any form of violence. And we are prepared and we are ready. No intimidation. That they are safe. There's no two ways about it. Yes.
My second question, some using double standards.
Still in matters hate speech, Tana River Senator Ali Abdi Bule was in Mombasa. Locals faced with 2 charges of ethnic hatred and incitement to violence charges, which he denied. Let's now speak to our John Juma, who has been following up on those particular developments there. We will be speaking shortly to John Juma. He has been following up on that story whereby Mr. Bule is alleged to have uttered words intended to incite feelings of hostility and violence against the Giriyama community. That is him earlier on in court. We understand that he has been freed on bond. Taking back the matter to what this police spokesperson was talking about, the judiciary and the hand it plays in these cases in regard to hate speech that we have been seeing growing as a trend. We will be speaking to John Juma shortly to give us more details on what transpired in court today. Now, a short while ago, I beg your pardon, elsewhere, a group of civil society groups are suing the government over what they say is a pact that could make it easier for tax evaders to hide away their money. The Tax Justice Network Africa, in October 2014 sued the government of Kenya in a Nairobi High Court, challenging the constitutionality of the Kenyan-Mauritius Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement signed in Port Louis, Mauritius on May 11, 2012. Well, they claim that the new deal now involves countries from the Middle East. Our business editor Michael Karanja gave insights of that particular issue, but let's take a look at what they had to say during the press conference. Right, we will be having that also shortly. Now, a short while ago, going back to the hate speech issue, we spoke to Professor Gitile Naituli, a commissioner with NCIC. Let's take a look at his remarks over hate speech.
Nobody was ever held accountable in 97. Just like, of course, over 2013 also, we don't see much. So we are determined ourselves, as the current commissioner at that organization, to make sure nobody gets away with inciting Kenyans against other Kenyans or maligning other ethnic communities in this country, because we need to live in this country and live in peace with one another. So
if you're saying that NCIC has done its part, are you saying that the judiciary has dropped the ball on this one? The judiciary, I think, together with the prosecution, because people keep on going to court, then they get this bond, then they kind of stagger these cases forever. I think the judiciary can also be blamed, even the corruption cases. This is what happened. I know a corruption case which is now 8 years old. And when I'm actually a witness in that case. So when I go to the case and the magistrate is on in, the accused is also not present. So it's like there's some communication going on. In fact, I told the officer prosecuting that case, is coming from Multimedia University, not to call me again, because it looked like there's some communication. So there is a problem on the way our prosecution system is set up. We need limits on how long the case should be concluded. But that way, at least, those people who are just serious offenders in these matters of trying to put Kenya into trouble, they can get their punishment as quickly as possible and become a deterrent. But coming back to NCIC, Kenyans seem to lose confidence in this particular commission, because you have been in power for about 1.5 years. I mean, 1 year and 4 months. Okay, well, but still there's nothing to show for it. There's no case that has passed through your hands that has followed up and actually has come to a conclusion, yet these leaders continue to make these utterances day in, day out. I think there's a lot of cases. I think we are also not been very good at communicating. And also, we have really been also preventing a lot of things. We don't stay in Nairobi. We have been in all the way to Turkana, all these trouble areas. We have always been there. So the cases are there which have passed through our hands, but they are with the Director of Public Prosecution. In Kisumu, the High Court has ordered the arrest of a GEM Member of Parliament, Jakoyo Midiwo, over a statement he made in 2012 to the effect that the life of Court leader Raila Odinga was in danger. Midiwo had at the time alleged that there was an assassination plot against Raila. Well, we can now speak to our Kisumu reporter Victor Ogale, who is in Kisumu. Victor, what can you tell us now? What's the latest?
Betty, the order was made a few hours ago by Kisumu Justice Hilary Chimite, where he ordered the arrest and prosecution of gay Member of Parliament Washington Jakoyo Midiwo. This was over his claims that he made in 2012, in April to be precise, during a burial ceremony that was being held in Bondo, where he claimed that at the time, the ODM chairman Raila Odinga, who is now the court leader, that he was planning to be assassinated by people who are working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, led by former Minister Ongeri.
Victor, so why exactly has he been arrested? Is it to provide evidence? Why exactly has he been arrested? To
put you in the know, Jakoyo had earlier going to court claiming that he cannot be arrested. He wanted to stop the arrest warrant, though the office of the DPP through counsel James Warui declared that, or rather found out that Midio failed to substantiate his claims, and he only made those remarks to gain political mileage. I mean, it was in 2012, and a few months after that date, we were going to have a general election.
Right, thank you very much, Victor Gale, for that update. Let's now take you back to that time when Jacob Midio made that statement. Let's listen to what he said at that time.
I'm ready to kill you. And they will do it. It's a matter of few weeks. I'm saying it because if I don't say it, nobody will.
Fraud and corruption allegations are emerging from the Youth Enterprise Fund, with the board today cracking down on management over loss of funds. At the center of the investigations is the unapproved transfer of 180 million shillings from the Youth Fund without proper authorization. Well, this has left the Youth Fund CEO Catherine Namuye and Finance Manager Benedict Atavachi with much to answer for as to how the money was moved without approvals. The two have been suspended as the board, led by Chairman Bruce Odhiambo, initiate investigations into the scandal. The Central Bank's Bank Fraud Unit will carry out the investigations and report back in a week's time. The Youth Enterprise Fund was established in 2006 to help fund entrepreneurs and controls an estimated 6 billion shillings to be lent to start-up businesses. The fund has, however, been marred with corruption allegations, with senior managers and board directors given the sack. It is also claimed that the fund cannot account for 400 million shillings the fund had deposited in a fixed deposit account.
We as a board have the various committees to steer, give oversight and put in check various operations of the fund, and it's our audit committee that realized some of the funds had been moved from one of our banking institutions without knowledge or direction from the board. And when this was tabled in front of a board meeting, it was inevitable to bring it to the attention of the banking fraud's attention, to do an investigation and give the board a true reflection of the fund's money's movement. The board has decided to ask the senior management to take some leave to allow for investigation. As a board, we have taken cognizance of all our institutional shortcomings and have already put measures in place to address our different challenges. And of course, I'd like to remind you again, the board is in charge of everything that happens.
A day after scooping the man of the match at the Rugby World Cup finals against Australia, New Zealand's Daniel Carter was named Rugby's Player of the Year for a third time at the Rugby Union World Awards. All Blacks scooped the Orgone for the best team in the world for the 6th time in a row.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2015 World Rugby Player of the Year Award is Dan Carter.
Daniel Carter made it a hat-trick of trophies as he bagged the Rugby Union World Player of the Year. A day after his exploits saw him make 19 points in the All Blacks 34-17 win over Australia, a match where he was named the man of the match. Carter, who won the title in 2005 and 2012, joins teammate and All Blacks captain Richie McCaw as the only triple winners of the award, which was first given in 2001. The 33-year-old, who made a record of 1,598 points from his 112 appearances, beat fellow teammate Julian Savea, Australia's Michael Hooper and David Pocock, Wales' Alan Wynne-Jones and Scotland's scrum half Greg Laidlaw to win the award. Carter is to join French club Racing Metro, where he is reported to become rugby's highest paid player.
A fairy tale finish, an absolute dream come true this last 24 hours. I never expected this. I was just happy to be a part of this World Cup winning side, but to win back-to-back World Cups and so I guess have the finish on what's been an amazing career.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team of the Year, champions on and off the field, New Zealand.
The All Blacks, after going into history books as the first team to win the Rugby World Cup 3 times, were named Team of the Year for the 6th time in a row.
Weird feeling. It was a real sense of pride and satisfaction that we'd achieved what we set out to do 4 years ago. You know, for a lot of us that have been involved in 2011, we put a line through, or a full stop.
Despite winning the Rugby World Cup, New Zealand coach Steve Hansen lost the Coach of the Year title to Australia's Michael Chika.
Great time with the team over the last year I've been in, and it's been a great journey for me. I've learnt a lot, and it's true, it's not the one we wanted, so it's a bit bittersweet, I suppose.
Werner Kok of South Africa was voted 7th Player of the Year, while Nigel Owens was the Referee of the Year. Robinson Okenye, KTN Sports.
And that's where we wrap up part 1 of KTN Newsdesk. Thank you very much for watching. We continue part 2 on the KTN News channel. My name is Bessie Okari. Have a lovely afternoon.